Hey guys, these Customs Games here. Today I'm going to be doing a showcase for a bunch of Spider-Man and a few villains, including this guy, but I'll show him later when I get to him. Um, it's been a while since I made a video. Long story short, my phone decided to die. So I got a new phone, and that's great. So that's why it's been a month since the last video, or over a month. But I'm back now. I haven't made a terrible amount of figures, but I've made a few. Not really, ever since. But I wanted to have the Sinister Six in this video too, but I just couldn't do it. And also, most of these Spider-Man suits were made in I think like May, so that's why they look pretty bad. But that's about it. The Sinister Six will have their own video eventually. Once I make them, once I have the heart to make those figures. So yeah, that's about it. And let's get started with these figures, with the figures that are actually good than the ones that were made later on or earlier. So yeah, actually no, let's start with the villains first, and then let's go. All right. Alrighty, I decided that having the villains first was a bad idea, so now we're starting with the Spider-Man first, as they should be. But anyways, here is the big-time Spider-Man suit. As you can see, he is very dirty, and some of the paint is falling off. But this figure I really, really like, and if I can dig up those pictures, there's a picture of the old version of him when I think he was 100% complete, but long story short, I destroyed it on accident. I think I spilled paint on him and I couldn't get it off without scratching off the original paint. So I had to completely remake a new version. If I have those pictures, I'm going to look for them. I need to look for them in my photos, but if I have it, I will show you it right now on the screen, as well as the reference that should have been here a few seconds ago. But yeah, aside from that, he's a pretty slick figure. He glows in the dark, and I'm not sure this camera is good enough to see that, but I will test that out in a few minutes after this segment. But as you can see, some of the paint is scratching off of him. But aside from that, I really like him. And also, he spawned the first digital art I've made of like a big time suit, of a trace that I made of this figure. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Again, if I remember to show that, I'll show that right here. I think. I don't know. But he's a pretty simple figure, or not really simple, but he's definitely probably the best, in my opinion, which is why he's up here first. And, yeah, I can't really stretch this out that long, much farther, but he has some nice detail. He's got all the parts. This was 100% hand-painted. The head was actually I lied, actually. The head was a Scarlet Spider head that I traced, that I filled the eyes in with green color and also painted black. Also, if I'm not mistaken, this green color is a mixed color, and the reason why it looks so glossy is because of the glow-in-the-dark stuff I put on it to make it, glow-in-the-dark. But aside from that, let's finish up with the next figure, which will be Bombastic Bagman. Alrighty, so for the Bombastic Bagman here, as you can see, or it might not be obvious, but this character was intentionally bad, so that's why he, looks like this. If I wanted to make a good one, it would probably be based off of my Fantastic Four figures from earlier, from a few videos back, but this figure was made to be intentionally bad, so that's why he looks like this. And starting off with his head is the Minecraft, in this case zombie, but the Minecraft head, which is perfect for the the bag head. So I just got that, got some pliers, and bit off the ends to make it look more paper baggery. And the back is just nothing. And this character is made in like 15 minutes, and I didn't even wait for the paint to dry. I thought the worse he was, the funnier it'd be, and I think it works pretty well. And yeah, his mouth is terrible, and yeah, he's pretty bad. Also, I was him for Halloween in a Thrown Together costume that I had, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But aside from that, let's get started with the next figure. You'll see. Now you see, this boy is Agent Venom, a figure that I've been wanting to make for so freaking long, and I'm so glad I was finally able to make him. And as you can see, he is a very packed boy. So, most of his accessories are from, well, actually all of his accessories are from knockoffs, but most of his accessories are from a Lego, or a knockoff Lego transparent Predator figure, because for my Invisible Woman, in order to get a transparent Lego figure, I had to order a couple Predator figures, because there's no other way to get transparent figures, for some odd reason. But I had to buy a few of those. I bought, I think, three. And the armor from one of them, I decided I'll just take and paint it black and add some cool stuff to it, and it looks pretty cool. This wrist rocket here is from a bootleg Iron Man, and also his belt is from a just a Lego bootleg army guy. A bunch of parts of them are bootleg, but in this case, I don't really care because this looks really freaking cool. And yeah, that's about it. He doesn't have too much painted detail. It's slightly my own design, slightly based off an action figure. My own design parts are basically just because I added a bunch of my own white lines on the places. I really like how I painted the face. I really like that. And aside from that, that's about it. I'll just do a few more turnarounds, and yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like him. He's a pretty good figure in my opinion. But next up are the mediocre figures, and one more figure that was made recently. So that's pretty cool, ain't it? Next up is Spider-Man Noir, which is a figure that I really wanted to make the Spider-Verse version of, but I would have felt bad not having, like the rest of the Spider-Verse people, so I decided to just make a plain version of him, and I don't really like it that much, and that kind of stinks, but we all make sacrifices, so we had this little chonky boy right here I sculpted I think this is the first figure I've actually ever sculpted on the torso for something this month, for like just sculpted the entire torso on pretty much, and that's really all the details. He isn't really painted, and I wanted to use 3D elements for his goggles, but I was too lazy. And didn't do that. So we just have this extremely simple boy with dark gray arms and dark gray shoes and some slight detail, and that's about it. But aside from that, that's about it for him, and the rest of these Spider-Man figures are made in May, I believe, or March, I don't know. But we're going to do that, and then on to the villains. Alright. Also, apologies for the way these guys look. They are very old. They're almost a year. They're about half a year old. And also, I was a lot worse at painting back then. Believe it or not, I have improved much. Trust me. But the next three Spider-Man figures were made. I won't say collaboration, but just through a conversation, a friend of mine was showing me a bunch of his digital art that he was making, and if I remember, I believe I downloaded them just for this video. But if I remember, the digital art he made for this figure is right here, and I just thought it'd be cool to make him a reality, so I did. And yeah, his figure is obviously a lot better. I kind of sucked at the lines right here, but I thought I did an okay job. He had another face that was really cool, but it never came off of the head, so that sucks. But aside from that, I don't really know what he's going for, just an alternate version of Spider Armor or the Symbiote Spider-Man. I really don't know, but I think it's still pretty cool. He's very dirty, and I don't want to hurt your eyes anymore, so we're going to get started on another figure who's even worse. Alrighty, so for this guy, he is, from the art and from what he told me, it is a version of Spider-Man mixed with the Punisher, which I think is a pretty cool idea. Too bad I butchered it when making it to an actual figure, so, if you bring him in closer over here, he has nothing on the back, his head is terrible, but yeah, he's gonna go by really quick. Like, this segment's probably not even gonna be a minute long, but I destroyed his arms, I painted them, and as you can see, this guy's made pretty lazily. The spider looks like a squash spider, and it has a tiny little skull in it, which looks kind of funny in my opinion, and he has black boots on top of gray legs, and that's really it. Yeah, that's it. One more figure to go, or one more Spider-Man figure to go, then we have the villains. So that's pretty cool. Alrighty, so lastly for the Spider-Man, this is the first of the digital arts I made, or the physical versions of his own art. This is the one that kind of sparked this, and over time I made two more, and eventually some actual Spider-Man that were really good. But anyways, this guy here is like another Spider Armor version, I guess. I really don't know. It's just his own original design. The eyes kind of look terrible. His spider doesn't look as squashed, but it's still a pretty squashed spider, so that kind of stinks. And I did not get the line straight at all. I tried mimicking the jankiness of his, instead of, just taking my own creative liberties, but, It's alright, but I used a really cool metallic paint that cost me $6, and it was really expensive. And I tried to use the heck out of it as much as I could, just so I could get my money's out of it. But aside from that, he's a pretty bad figure, but I still like him. He will still happily go into my collection. Next figure, and we're starting with the villains now. Alrighty, so now we have Electro here, but before I show that, I will show you this guy, who's an unfinished, Craven the Hunter. I was gonna have him in the showcase as a full figure, but this figure is pretty trash, and he's my own design, just like this guy here. And I decided to keep your eyes from being robbed of this guy's being an actual segment. I decided I'll just throw him here real quick. So yeah, he looks really bad, and yeah, you can see why I decided never to have him as an actual figure. So he's gone now. I just dropped him on the floor. But anyways, this guy is, I almost dropped him, but this guy is Electro. I literally just made him with two pieces that I saw and thought it looked cool for an Electro, and I made my own design. So I have no reference to show you, and same goes with the Lizard and Kingpin, even though the Lizard doesn't really look that different, but I'm too lazy to find reference for you guys, so I'm sorry about that. Anyways, this guy has like weird metallic metal armor that I gave him. It kind of looks a little odd, but it's all right. The only thing that's kind of cool for him is that he has handcuffs on his fists to make the electricity stuff. I just realized I was calling him the Shocker. I mean the Electro. I am sorry, he is the Shocker, but his head is Lego the Nova Force helmets that were pretty cool. I painted it in black with the head on top of it, and then I painted a head with I just got a head and painted like the pattern on it. I don't think these can come apart because I am stupid and I think it melted together, but I still think it looks pretty cool. And as you can see, these fell off, which is a first, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna put him back on as I stall, and you can look at the rest of this figure. His arms are, made to look like that jacket design that the classic Electro has. So I just did that cross pattern, and it looks pretty cool, in my opinion, and the torso is okay for an original design. But the boots, I just got lazy and made them yellow. But aside from that, let's get started on the next two figures, or should I say, big figures. Alrighty, so for the Lizard here, he is a very simple figure. I do not have a picture of the original figure, but trust me, it was really, really bad. The printing was like this the entire way through. The printing just sucked and used a metallic green. If you guys have one of these, which I'm sure at least two of you have, maybe three, but if any of you guys have any of these, you know how terrible they were, and I didn't really care because I was going to paint it anyways, but yeah, I painted him, and I wasn't planning on doing any sculpting, but I decided to do it on the back and on the tail, and I regret it on the tail because you can't even see it. So if I take the tail off here, you can see that I did a little bit of sculpting to kind of make a mound right here to make it look more realistic as his tail pops out. Also, his tail's a separate piece, so that's cool, and also it's a mess in there, don't ask why. But there's also a big one on the back where it shows a little bit of depth, but it's still kind of cool. I kind of wish I did some on the arms where it would have been the coolest and the most important places to put it, but I did not because I am lazy and I did not want to do it after painting. So, his head, he's a lizard. The only thing I really could have done would have been to add nostrils and also a little mouth right there, or maybe sculpt the tongue. But that is too much work for my foul being, so I decided to leave it as is, and for the most part, use the same big figure sculpt as he has right now, as the original bootleg figure, His arms move, they're on. I decided I won't be filling in the torsos of big figures anymore, because that is just way too much work for my feeble mind. And he just has a black shirt, white sweater, and shoes. No shoes actually. He's barefoot, and also he just got he's got blue shorts. That's a word I was looking for. Yeah, I'll just give you another 360. He's pretty cool. He's a figure, or big figure. Next up is our last figure, and that is Kingpin. Alrighty, next up for Kingpin is Kingpin, actually. He's not that great, and he's probably going to go by a lot quicker than Mr. Snakey over here. But he is also using torso bootleg figure made by the same company, and also the skin tone was absolutely terrible. If I can take the head off, which is actually way harder than you expect, and I probably ruined the figure by doing that. And I dropped the head, so that's fantastic. It got stuck somewhere, but if you look at it, the skin tone was absolutely terrible, and you can see the head is kind of bad too. But the skin tone was absolutely terrible. So I fixed that and repainted all the skin in a new color, and I painted the hands, which is pretty cool. They're posable. This figure's a whole lot harder to pose, but as is, it was just hard to pose as soon as I got it. One of the arms is really hard to move, like this one, but that's cool. It was originally a very light gray, and I just decided to basically just do Spider-Man PS4's Kingpin, which wasn't that hard. And I just made it dark gray and some black accents, and that was about it. And it works, because I am a lazy bum, and this is my peak quality. His face I painted like 5 times, and this is the best I could do, which is pretty sad, but it's okay. It was based off of, I think, Brickophilia's figure, except I just made it worse, or his face anyways, but I just made it worse, so that's my mistake. But aside from that, I don't really have anything else to say. I didn't make a cane for this figure. He's not comic book accurate, so what I do, I will end this video now, and also I forgot to mention he has black shoes, which is kind of cool. Alrighty, thank you people for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for taking so gosh dang long to go ahead and make another video. I just wasn't really able to, and I wasn't motivated, but now I am back. I am working on Smash Bros. Customs, and I also need to get to work. My lights just died. I also need to get to work on some of the 10-year figures. I forgot that was a thing, and I'm pretty sure you guys did too, but I'm working on that in Smash Bros. And also every one-off showcase every now and then. So that's pretty cool. Also, yeah, that's about it. You might see a various random LEGO minifigures showcase eventually, because I'm making a lot of dumb figures. But I don't know. That's up to me. But aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great rest of your day. And I don't know when my next showcase will happen. Hopefully soon.